So we are going to continue with a very large company, Facebook. Christian Hernandez, who many of you know, is kind of their European face. And I was very happy because when we started NOAH conference, Christian kind of opened my eyes because when he visited the NOAH conference, I think 4 years ago, it was pretty much your first week at Facebook. And I saw him a few months later and asked him, how did you like it? And for me, it was the nicest meeting I had as a feedback. He said, Marco, it was great. I was 1 week in the job, and out of my kind of 10 partnerships I did in my first half year, quite nice amount originated at the NOAH conference. So I hope that the business leads are continuing, and now in the fourth year it's as productive, if not more productive, like in the first year. Christian, we all know you. Tell us, what do you actually do at Facebook on a day-to-day?
What I do at Facebook, other than check Facebook. Actually, UK has been an interesting point for us because it was the first commercial office we ever opened outside the US. It was the first office we opened up for PR and policy. It was the first office we opened up for platform, which is what I've been doing. And now it's actually the first office outside the US that we've opened up for engineering. We just opened up our engineering center here in London. So for the last 3 years, we've been building a team to go work with developers across Europe, companies across gaming and media and mobile, and trying to build an ecosystem of European companies that want to use the Facebook platform to go global. So the King.com, Spotify's, the Rovios, they're actually betting on social as this transformative power. So that's been 3 years in the making. I think if you looked at the trajectory, there's actually quite a bit of nice stories coming out of Europe right now, of companies that believe that social was this new evolution on the web, and they bet on it. And now what we're focused on is actually this new incubation of verticals. We have this saying internally, do you like to make social companies large and large companies social? I'd give myself a pretty good grade on making social companies large from some of the examples that I quoted. It's much harder to make a large company social. It's a lot more complex to rip out a product and actually add this new layer of real human beings into it. So we're incubating, we have a team that's actually incubating e-commerce and multi-channel retail, luxury and fashion, what I call social CRM, and we're putting engineers and business resources to go in, talk to senior management or board level about betting on social, and then going and building something together.
Where do I hire my social expert?
Well, first of all, there's too many people that call themselves a social expert right now, so if they call themselves that, that'd be my first concern. If I was actually thinking about a social expert, his skill set would probably be database knowledge first, because social is all about the data. So right now you have your corporate database, your IT department runs a data warehouse, you have insight into who your customer is. And what if I could give you 1,001 data points about your customer that you never would have yourself? What if the user actually opted in to give you that social data? How do you combine your corporate data with this social database and make them one view of the customer? So really it starts with kind of an IT type focus to then figure out how you interact with them, how you talk to them, how you market to them.
Okay, so when did you join Facebook? That was 4 years ago?
I'm a bit over 3 years now, so I think literally it was my first week on the ground was the conference here.
How much time, how many days in the week people actually can meet you in the London office versus you traveling?
I think in the last 3 years, I've been in the UK, according to my tax filings, less than 60% of my time outside the UK.
So despite London being Facebook's largest office, you actually spend at least a similar amount of time on the continent.
Yeah.
What countries are you most interested in?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the structural issues of the US versus Europe, right? Europe, at the end of the day, still has country-by-country silos. And even in Germany is a great example. Germany is not one city. Germany is Frankfurt and Hamburg and Munich and Berlin. So you do have to go in and interact with the companies on the ground. So it can, not necessarily in any order, but a lot of time in Paris, a lot of time in Berlin, a lot of time in Turkey. I'm personally a huge fan of Turkey. I love it, just the vibrancy of the market. Israel, which is actually doing really well for gaming. The Nordics, Finland by itself, I mean, the number of startups coming out of Finland is amazing. Thank you, Nokia. Sweden. And at the end of the day, the UK as well, right? I think the UK has a really nice, vibrant ecosystem. I think it's actually, we publicly stated that it's our second largest hub of developers in the world after Silicon Valley.
Okay. What is your exact job title?
My exact job title, Director of Vertical Business Partnerships.
So basically, you are the messiahs of social across Europe?
Yeah, think of it as, actually the profile of the team is a bunch of guys who are ex-McKinsey, ex-Bain, who decided to take the risk and go become entrepreneurs. So when we talk to CEOs of a company, we try to have at least some level of vertical expertise, operational experience, so they at least trust that we're talking about their business. And we happen to be really deep experts on the power of social and how we can actually build products together. And you combine those, and it really becomes interesting conversations. We're not selling a product. We're actually trying to come up with an idea that we could go develop together.
I'm very interested in one thing, one word you said in particular, verticalization. So listening to this, it doesn't look like anymore that Facebook is a one-size-fits-all. On the other hand, you're actually trying to understand the businesses of your advertisers and work with them on the solutions. Now, we would like to know, how can you spend money on Facebook today? What are actually the products you are selling, and what is to come? Maybe you can help us a little bit.
And I think that's the key difference here is we no longer think of the companies as purely advertisers or purely developers. I mean, when I started with the company, we called it the platform. So if you were Zynga, or you were Spotify, or you were the New York Times, we just thought about you the same way. When the way you think about Facebook was very, very different for a gaming company or a media company or a music discovery company. Same thing with, let's take telcos, for example, right? Telcos have some board-level issues. They have OpEx and CapEx, they have customer acquisition, retention, and minimizing churn. So we no longer go in and say, hey, buy our ad products, go create a Facebook page. We go and say, how do we actually help you optimize your customer acquisition? We did a recent campaign with Samsung in the US. They launched the Galaxy 3S, and they used Facebook as one of their primary channels. Through Facebook, they touched 105 million people. There's no medium in the world that would have given them that scale through one investment campaign. I mean, effectively, even the Super Bowl wouldn't have actually given them that scale. 105 million people were touched through one advertising campaign, and through that, they actually have metrics that prove that they sold $129 million worth of Galaxy 3Ss. So when you can actually start showing to them that there's ROI, that actually money is coming in because they actually know how to use Facebook, it really changes the conversation.
Are you a CPA company?
Not in a pure I couldn't tell you the CPA. I couldn't tell you the CPA in our internal metrics, but we're actually working with companies to actually look at that, right? How do we compare on across the internet or across different channels to actually get you what you want, which is that customer coming into the store or that customer buying your product?
So you're becoming much more sophisticated, providing kind of ROI type of check marks, justification to spend money on Facebook. Now, we talked earlier today, a little bit behind your back, and I apologize, the mobile side. I think it's a well-discussed topic in the media. Everybody understands it. Oh, look, Facebook on mobile is harder to monetize, and there's cannibalization and migration and risk, and that's the reason why there's such a bad valuation, whatever that means. Tell us about the mobile strategy, at least what you can share. Do you think this is all nonsense?
If you ask me like what products I'm most excited about, mobile and what we're doing around mobile would probably be top of the list. And it's two sides, right? One is the mobile access to Facebook, where we have 600 million people spending in the US 8 hours per month on Facebook on their mobile device, versus 6 hours per month on Facebook on the web. So once you have this captive audience, you also have an amazing asset that's going to be very, very hard to reproduce. I've been working in mobile for most of my career leading up to joining Facebook, and mobile is actually a place of unknowns. There's no cookies on mobile. There's no identity on mobile. You don't know who you're targeting. So in an ad network, you're kind of hoping and praying that they actually hit the right demographic.
But the Facebook mobile user is often logged in, right? And
Exactly.
then you know who it is.
Exactly.
What's the percentage, I don't know. What's the percentage number of Facebook people kind of with a mobile overlap, having it on, being logged on? Like half, roughly, or?
No, so I mean, the number is quite fine. It's 600 million people log in every month into their Facebook app on a mobile device. And they log in quite frequently on a daily basis. So once you have identity, three things that have been missing in mobile is identity, targeting, and insights. So we have identity, so you can target 25-year-old females with an Oxford degree in Sheffield who like Lady Gaga. And you know you're only going to get the 20,000 of those. There's actually 13,500, I checked yesterday. And then you can serve them as very specific ad. Install my app, like my page for Dove, go to this website. So that's actually the ability to micro-target and drive action. And then insights, where we can actually say that 25-year-old female from Oxford and Sheffield saw your ad, Oh, and by the way, we actually know that she also installed your app. And those three pieces would be very hard for anybody else to reproduce.
So that sounds like a lot of data, if not big data, to me.
Sounds beautiful to me.
How relevant is localization? Like, with a smartphone, you know where the person is. What's the percentage, or is there other products out there which are kind of location-based advertising, which I remember was a big theme a few years ago. I was part of the TomTom IPO team, and we talked about all that. Do you see local-based advertising as a trend?
I do think there's still no silver bullet for small and medium businesses or local businesses to talk to me as a user. I mean, there's a bunch of different trials, there's triangulation technologies, there's location-based stuff. It hasn't been solved. But I think it is still a huge opportunity, but it's actually a really big challenge, because how do you actually scale out to that number of businesses?
That's a risk with targeting, right? If you target too much, they're just too little, right? And in fact, targeting, yeah, it gives you better conversion because these are the people you look for.
Yep.
But at the end, I guess Nick said there's no other media like mobile where you reach, or Carsten said, where you reach 1 billion users. So at the end, for the big marketeers, it's mass, correct?
But that's the beauty of thing of Facebook. We give you mass. So we give you the largest mobile audience on smartphones, but we also give you this ability to narrowly reach people. So Supercell, right, which is, I think everybody's talking about, is one of the hottest stories right now in Europe. Finnish gaming company focused on iPads, top iPad gaming apps out there right now.
They're rumored to make over 500,000 revenues a day or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that?
they publicly stated that it's over 500,000 a day. You can go talk to Excel and ask them if that's
and
true or not.
how much are they dependent on Facebook?
So the interesting thing here is they acquire users through us. So they use Facebook to target males on iPads in monetizing countries, and they serve an ad on their iPad stream that says, install my app. When they click on it, it goes to the Apple Store, they install it. All the monetization happens effectively through the Apple Store, because it's the rules of the platform.
Okay, I have 2 last questions for you, and one you may answer very quickly, but I'm interested in it. There has been a lot of press in mature markets like the US, UK, Germany, that after a while, you're kind of really getting bored with Facebook. You kind of build your friends. Once they're built, you send a few messages, but it's kind of a thing which not everyone then sticks to. Do you see declining usage in big mature markets?
No. I mean, if you look at the numbers, right, the number of users continues to grow. The engagement, i.e. the number of users that come back every day, continues to grow. And the amount of time they're spending on Facebook per month, according to Comscore, continues to grow.
Okay. So the next question is a very selfish one. Let's talk about mergers and acquisitions. I try to sell you lots of companies with no success. And maybe the power of the audience gives me some leverage. Yeah. What is Facebook looking at to buy in Europe? Who should prepare to get a call?
And let's talk about...
And there has been a few deals, like I think Face.com in Israel.
Yeah,
so tell us a little about your M&A strategy, please.
So our M&A team, until recently, was a team of one. Amin, who's based in California. So, I mean, he really was running a deal a month for the last year. Now that team is tripled, they're now 3, but it's still all based in California. And it's very important that we actually have our M&A team in California, because they serve the product team. We actually look for acquisitions in 2 sides. One is talent acquisitions, and we've done a lot of this acqui-hire. Actually, we probably kind of helped create the model. 2 is actually products that we think will accelerate a functionality we want. So Face and Snap2 from Israel were both teams that we brought in because the functionality was something that was important to us, and we've actually baked in as products into the product. Sofa in Amsterdam, that was a great design company, and we wanted to buy them. Lightbox in the UK, because they had fantastic Android talent, Android developers.
Are you looking for technology, people, product, customers, business model, or is it a combination of all?
It's a bit of a combination of all. If you look at the acquisitions in the last year, Karma was a team that we actually really liked. That's actually going to help us. That has helped us launch a new business model for social gifting that we launched in the US. Lightbox is actually a pure talent acquisition. Snap2 was a product that we reskinned as Facebook for every phone. So it's been across the board, but I think there'll be a lot more focused on talent than necessarily focused on pure product, large Instagram-style deals.
Christian, thank you very much. I think I learned a lot about social today. Thank you.